Before we get started with our first practice, we want to give you a little bit more detail on how the practice book works. You should be in the process of reading and filling out your workbook. We definitely want you to read and fill out the questions on Chapter 6 because that gives a detailed overview of how the practice book works. Also, make sure you concern yourself with what you have access to and what you're able to accomplish at the golf course. Each golf course is set up differently. Maybe you don't have a greenside bunker. Well, you're just going to have to make some adjustments to your practice plan that day. We're fortunate here at Riceland to have a driving range, a putting green, and 18 holes of a golf course. If you don't have something, then just make a simple adjustment. Also, each day should be about an hour and a half to 2 hours. We give you 1 day off per week. If something happens in your life, you have a work commitment, family obligation, then just make some adjustments. Obviously, the more you put into your Dynamic Golf practice book, the more you're going to get out of it. But if one day you can only practice for 45 minutes rather than an hour and a half, then maybe you only hit 50 balls rather than 100, or play 9 holes rather than 18. Welcome to day 1 of Dynamic Golf. The day 1, we're going to do a warm-up. The warm-up is going to be the same for every day. So we have the pro, Coach Sillinger here, starting at the driving range. He has a bucket of balls, obviously has his clubs, and he's going to start with his odd irons. And that's kind of what we want you to start with. Your 9-iron, 7-iron, 5-iron to get yourself started and hit a few balls and get warmed up for your day. Again, our warm-up or your warm-up is going to be the same thing every day in the 60-day practice book. So we'll watch Coach S maybe hit some balls here, right?
Yeah. So I've got my 9-iron here, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what I would do before I warm up for any round or getting ready for a tournament or any warm-up before my practice session. Usually, you don't have to worry about ball contact when you're out here practicing. You just want to get loose, make sure you don't pull anything, and just get your body limber and ready to get into that day's dynamic practice session. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit a couple here, and I just take a couple small practice swings and get into my shot and hit it. And like I said, I'm not so concerned about contact. I'm just trying to make good shots and get my body loose. And you'll want to do this every day. Plus, it just gives you a chance to get into your same routine every day before you start your dynamic practice for that day.
After you complete your warm-up of day 1, you're ready to play your first dynamic golf round. We want you to go out and play 18 holes of golf from your normal tee box. Once you complete your 18 holes, you should then get out your workbook and try to answer a few questions. Coach Sillinger just played his 18 holes. These are the type of questions he would want to ask himself after you finish your first round. How was your round today?
I played pretty well. I'm not sure I kept my mental focus through the whole round, and I need to make sure I keep my concentration level up the entire 18 instead of sometimes it lapses in the middle of my round.
We want to also think about how many fairways did you hit? How many putts did you have?
Yeah, I hit 10 out of 14 fairways. I hit 16 out of 18 greens, so I really hit the ball fairly decently. And I had 32 putts, so I'd need to work on my putting a little bit and get that down a little bit.
Were you able to stay with your routine? Did you try your routine before every shot?
You know, Coach, I was able to stay with my routine the entire time, which that's something I'm proud of being able to do. And that's something I need to continue to do to continue to be a good dynamic golfer.
Great. You'd want to put those answers, or you'd want to put your answers in your workbook and then get ready to go to day 2. After each day, we provide you with a dynamic thought of the day. After day 1, the dynamic thought of the day is:
evaluation is the key to discovery.